Hi there, welcome to our kitchen. I'm Mary and Sarah, and we're excited to cook some sexy sides today. Does anybody ever feel a little stuck or humdrum with side dishes? We're excited to breathe a little freshness into your repertoire. So today we're gonna make a creamy, dreamy parsnip cauliflower mash or puree. And we're going to make a mushroom ragout and then a spiced carrot dish. And a lot of these dishes have just been in our repertoire for years, so we're excited to share them. So we're going to get started with an onion here, and we're going to use our Salad Master food processor here to chop the onions. But if you don't have one, that's totally cool. Just chop your onions the way you like to do it at home. We always do it this way, so much faster and easier here. So you can see how quick and easy you can just slice up. Okay, so we've got about half of an onion there, and we're gonna put that in the pan with a little, let's see, a little coconut oil. You could use olive oil, you could use algae oil. We've been using this Thrive culinary algae oil that we learned about in Dr. Dean Ornish test kitchen when we worked for him. He's a big fan of it because it has less saturated fat than a bunch of oils out there.
And it's also got a high burn.
Yeah, and it's very neutral with flavor. So we're just going to saute the onions for about 7 to 10 minutes I'll season them with a little bit of salt and pepper here. And I like the base of this dish, it's nice to have caramelized onions. So like I said, about 7 to 10 minutes, you want to get a little bit of a golden brown color on them. And so we'll let this go. Mary's gonna now begin ricing about 4 cups of cauliflower. You can, of course, just chop the cauliflower, will be just fine, but we like to rice it. And you'll notice that Mary's going right through the core. The core of the cauliflower has a lot of pepsin, which helps to break down the sort of the gassy nature of cruciferous vegetables. So don't get rid of the core. So this is about 4 cups. And look how fast we
I know, right?
Like that's cauli rice right there.
Yeah.
You can zoom in on that. See how easy that is? You can also buy cauli rice, but I'm thinking that's about 4 cups. Yep, yeah. Okay, so just on top of that 4 cups, let's go ahead and grate the parsnip. You'll notice here that we are not peeling the parsnips or the carrots today. A lot of the nutrition is concentrated right there in the peeling. Okay, so this is about 3/4 of a pound worth of parsnips.
Get in there, I know you want to.
I know. 3/4 of a pound, and I think by not peeling them, they're a little bit earthier maybe. Yeah, but I like the earthiness, and I think the cauliflower mellows out the earthiness. Yeah, and sometimes we'll use potatoes in place of the cauliflower just to level out the earthy part of the parsnip. This dish brings back really fond memories. We used to make a rendition of this back at the Quilted Giraffe back in New York City in my early 20s, and I always remembered it. So here's what I want to do.
Just a quick question. What cone number were you using for that?
Oh, we were using cone 3. That's your grater cone. Okay, so Katie, do you see this? These are the onions that I made a little bit earlier, just to show you a golden brown color there. That's after about 7 to 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is add all of the 4 cups of cauliflower rice and 4 cups of grated parsnip. I'm going to put that in here. And then I'm going to add 3 cups of veggie broth. So I just that's 3 cups of water and a little bouillon cube, a veggie bouillon cube. We like this brand Rapunzel. I think it's a vegan vegetable bouillon, and I can't even find this at Whole Foods anymore, so I order 6 or 7 at a time from Amazon. Okay, so I'm going to put a little salt and pepper in here. And then I'm gonna cover this and bring it up to a boil over high heat, then reduce the heat to a simmer and let it simmer for, what is it, about 10 minutes until tender. Okay, while the parsnips are cooking, we're gonna get started on the mushroom ragu. And we're gonna start again with some onions, okay? And in this case, we're gonna go with sliced onions. So we're gonna use cone 2 on our machine here. And again, you can slice them the way you slice them, but look how fast and easy. We're gonna get about half a cup of onion here.
And the cone number again?
This is cone 2, okay? So you can see how quickly we can get a bunch of sliced onions here. And it's about half a cup of sliced onion. And we're gonna put that in the saute pan with about 2 tablespoons of our algae oil. But any sort of neutral oil will be just fine. Okay, so
about
Sarah,
2
go ahead and put that in. And we're gonna switch out the cone here, and we're gonna mix some garlic.
The base to all good dishes, we like some golden brown, nicely cooked onion.
That's
like
right.
add such
So
flavor.
let me show you how easy it is to mince some garlic on the salad master food processor here. So I just took the peeling off, a little bit of the peeling. The rest will get pretty much stuck in the grate of the cone. So I'm just gonna press on the bowl here like this. And you'll see that we can yield about a tablespoon. That's about exactly what we're looking for. And of course, if you have a press at home, you can do it that way as well. So we've got the onions and the garlic cooking here, and then we're gonna slice the mushrooms, okay? So I'm gonna put yet a different cone on for the sliced mushrooms. This is cone 4 here, for those of you who have the Salad Master food processor. And we're gonna start out with these cremini little button mushrooms. I always like to get the brown ones as opposed to the white ones, because that just means that they've been exposed to sunlight. Believe it or not, they're the exact same mushrooms, but these grew with the sunlight, whereas the white ones don't. I think that's kind of interesting.
Mary and I are so inspired to eat mushrooms as often as possible. We saw this great documentary called Fantastic Fungi and over the holidays, and it was just so enlightening. There's so many incredible health benefits of mushrooms. It's related to just increased immunity with the microbiome. It helps with mushrooms can help with cardiovascular disease. It can help with hypertension and even help prevent diabetes.
And cancer too. Yeah, I love seeing that movie, Fantastic Fungi. We learned from is it mycologist?
Yep, that's Stamets.
Yeah, and he got news that his mother had stage 4 breast cancer, and he started giving her, was it turkey tail?
Turkey tail.
Yeah, turkey tail mushrooms, and they cured the turkey tail mushrooms cured her of her stage 4 cancer. So it really is an awesome movie to see, for one, but second of all, I hope that it will inspire you, or this little cooking demo here will inspire you to eat more mushrooms on a regular basis. And also,
You're seeing so many different mushrooms at the grocery store now.
so look at all these different types of mushrooms. We've got the cinnamon caps and trumpets and mayatakis and shiitakes. So look at the grocery store for the different varieties. You can get packages that say chef's choice or whatnot, and you get this variety of mushrooms. So you saw how quickly we chopped the cremini, and we're going to put the cremini in with the onions and garlic. And also, I'm just going to do a quick rough chop on these assorted mushrooms here. So as soon as I salt these creminis a little bit, they're going to release liquid, and they'll start cooking in their own juices. If you add a drier mushroom like a shiitake
or some of these other designer mushrooms, they may not release as much water initially. So you may, if you feel that the pan is really dry, just add a little bit more oil or a little bit of veggie stock or a little bit of water to the pan, okay? But we'll see here, these mushrooms are gonna start releasing water. So I want to tell you, Sarah and I have a running argument in our kitchen about whether we rinse the mushrooms before we cook them or we don't rinse the mushrooms. And Sarah cannot imagine rinsing mushrooms. From all of her formal training and all, they would say to brush the mushrooms to get rid of the pastry brush, little peat moss or whatever's on there. But for me, I have always rinsed the mushrooms, and I would say do what you want to do. The thinking is that if you rinse the mushrooms, you're gonna maybe rinse away some of the flavor. But I just feel like somebody was picking the mushrooms, and I don't know what and so I would say do what you want to do. But Sarah just gets furious when I rinse those mushrooms, thinking that we'll lose the flavor here. So we've got all of the wild mushrooms right on in the pan, cooking with the onions and the garlic. And we're going to add a little chicken stock. Sarah and I made some chicken broth last night. We keep it on hand for really delicious flavor. Masala first. Oh, that's right. So masala first. It doesn't really matter. You could add the chicken broth. That's true. And then some people may not even be using masala. Sarah and I love to use some cooking wines when we make our dinners. We have masala on hand, we keep vermouth on hand, we keep red wine. It very much stems from our classic French training. But if you don't like using alcohol, just omit that. It really gives such a yummy flavor, and it really cooks out. Yeah. So it leaves the flavor, but the alcohol cooks out. So Marsala is delicious, but Madeira is also a great cooking wine. Delicious. White wine, sherry. Red wine. Our dad loved sherry. We made it with sherry this week, and we decided it was just a little bit sweet for us, but he loved that cream sherry. Okay, so we've got some masala in there. How much did you put in? We put about a half a cup of masala in there. Marsala, I should say. So we're gonna just cook this down for, I don't know, about 5 minutes. And when it gets mostly dry, we're gonna then add you can add chicken stock or a veggie stock. And the reason why that is again, we're cooking the alcohol out. So we want the essence of the flavor, but we don't want it to taste boozy. You know what I mean? That's right. So
what'd you just throw in?
What?
What'd you just throw in?
I thought it was just an extra mushroom hanging out. I just wanted to make sure it made it into the pan. So we're gonna add the chicken broth. You can add veggie broth if you're not into chicken broth. That's cool. I'm gonna also chop up some fresh thyme, and I wanted to just bring it to your attention that it's really nice to buy a little potted version of thyme or rosemary or basil. I like to take a little clipping off the pot and put it outside so it continues to grow outside, and I have it on hand when I need it. But you can't always find the potted version. I'm finding at this stage of the year, in the winter time, that thyme is very woody. It's got very stalky stems, right? So here's an example of how I will chop the tender front parts, the stems of the thyme, and then I'll go right down to about where this wire is here, where it starts getting very woodsy, and I'll save that to put it in my chicken stock or in my veggie broth, okay? So I chopped a little bit of this earlier, and what you want to avoid is having to string all of the leaves off the stalks of the thyme, okay? Sometimes you have to, like this is an example of the time that Sarah brought home, and
this kind of gets on my nerves because see how woodsy this stalks are.
So you do have to sort of meticulously pull the thyme leaves off like
save
that.
These and throw them in your stock pot. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got I love thyme with mushrooms. It's such a natural. But marjoram is wonderful. A little rosemary. Sometimes a little fresh oregano, or sage is delicious too. Combination of those herbs.
So we've got some thyme. Here I'll put some thyme and some.
So the alcohol is mostly cooked out of these mushrooms here now. And so what I'm gonna do is add the fresh herbs and then the chicken stock. So we'll just let that continue to boil away as we get going on the carrots, okay?
Okay, so I'm gonna chop the carrots, and you'll notice here that we have tricolored carrots. Look out for the bags that have the different colors of carrots at the grocery store, because phytonutrients are measured in color. So phytonutrients are just a class of antioxidants, and it's important to get lots of different colors into your body to help with your immune system, okay? So this purple carrot, actually one little tidbit of information is that carrots used to be like this. And then the Duke of Orange decided that he wanted to have an orange carrot. So the purple carrots went orange, and now we just have to pay more for the purple carrots. And the purple carrots have so many phytonutrients, like way more than the orange or the white, okay? But they're all noted for their beta carotene. They all have a lot of goodness in them. So
And it's actually when you cook carrots, you increase the beta carotene.
yeah,
right?
that's true.
So they're
That's
actually a
true.
little healthier
So I'm going to
as
show
well.
you a cut that Sarah taught me. She learned this at the Quilted Giraffe in her early years of training in New York City. So it's a cut and then a quarter turn.
Look
So
how cool.
do you see how cool that looks?
Gorgeous.
It's a cut and a quarter turn. And the look is just cool, right? Do you see that? Cut, quarter turn. And you're cutting on the bias here. Now, if you don't want to do it that way, you can also just cut on the bias like this, okay? Just like that. Okay.
Do you have a little
And then
water,
we-
Mary?
I do. Actually,
Okay.
here's a half a cup. Okay, so look here. I'm going to show you this cut again, because I think it's really beautiful. And I love these yellow carrots. Look how gorgeous these colors are. It really adds flair to the end product to have all these colors in the pan. Look at there. So we're going to add about a half a cup of water to the carrots with a little bit of butter or ghee. You can use whatever you like. Some maple syrup.
Do you want to add ghee here?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll add some ghee or Miyoko's butter. It's grab the Miyoko's.
Well, I was going to put that in the mushrooms, so maybe we'll show you. We really like ghee. This is a clarified butter, and it has beautiful flavor. So they basically take the milk solids out. So I consider this to be a little easier on your gut without the dairy, but it has beautiful flavor. But again, any sort of fat that you like, and we're going to add about 2 tablespoons.
Okay, and we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. I'm just going to guesstimate here. A little pinch of salt here. Okay,
And a little
squeeze of
lemon
lemon.
juice. Do you have a lemon squeezer, Mary?
I'm just going to squeeze it like this, Sarah. Here. You need this? Okay, and it calls for about 3/4 of a teaspoon of fresh lemon juice here, and then a 1/4 of a teaspoon of
Curry powder.
Curry powder, yeah.
So about that much.
You can just,
That's
no
right.
need to measure. You know, recipes really are just a starting point. We're gonna put a little sprinkle of cinnamon.
And then
Our recipe calls for how much?
a
cinnamon?
dash of cayenne. There's the cayenne.
A little
Okay.
pinch.
And this is optional, but we like a little bit of heat in there.
And then we're just gonna put this on the stove and cook her up right here. It takes about 5 minutes. In our household, we have kids that like really crunchy carrots. So we probably cook them for about 4 minutes. And if you want them a little bit softer and you can bring out a little bit more of the sugars in the carrots and, you know, just taste along the way and decide how long you want to cook them. But the end result should be a nice maple glaze over the carrots. So did you put some salt and pepper in there?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So let me share with you what's happening with the creamy, dreamy parsnip and cauliflower mix here. So this is all very tender now, And what I'm gonna do is just strain this, and then I'm gonna put the cauli parsnip mix into a high-speed blender with about 1/4 of a cup of coconut milk and a little bit of butter. And then I'm gonna season it with some salt and pepper, a little nutmeg, and then a little bit of white pepper. So let's see here, Mary, you wanna hold this for me? And I'm just gonna strain this. You wanna do it over here? So I'm just straining this out like this. And this broth is absolutely delicious. But I love to put it in a mug. You can see you get about maybe about 1.5 cups of broth here. And it's just put a little extra pepper in there and put it in a mug and enjoy. But I am gonna put a little bit of the broth in here. And it depends, you know, I like to play with the ratios. Sometimes I'll do 100% parsnip puree, sometimes cauli parsnip, then I'll mix it up, sometimes potatoes. So the consistency really varies with your vegetables. So how much broth you need is, you know, just to the desired consistency.
And then you have a little coconut cream in here.
Yeah, this is just, I think was it coconut cream?
Yeah.
Okay, you can use coconut milk out of a can or coconut cream. I like the consistency of
Coconut
the
cream is just a little richer.
Yeah, it's
And
a little more
denser.
decadent. And then we really like this Miyoko's butter. I think we referenced this the last cooking class, but this is a cultured cashew cream, and it's fermented with live cultures. So we love that acts as a probiotic, which is always fortifying our gut health. Okay,
So I'm
and
gonna add
about
a
2
little
tablespoons of
nutmeg and a little white pepper in here.
If you haven't had white pepper in a while, get yourself some.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really delicious. It's hard to describe what
No,
white pepper
it
does
has
to.
a very interesting flavor. It's very different from the black pepper. And it goes, oh shoot, Sarah, just
What
put some
happened?
cinnamon in there.
Oh dear.
Heavens, okay. I'm gonna just remove the cinnamon here and get the nutmeg. Okay. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna cover the cinnamon up with a little
nutmeg.
A pinch of nutmeg does something. It just adds a little magic.
And it goes really well with the white pepper. There's some kind of interesting play off the white pepper with the nutmeg, and then that really earthy parsnip flavor. It's magic. It really is.
Did we add a little bit of this?
Yeah.
Can't add some. Oh, just a little bit. Let's just
Yeah.
add a little bit. And then we'll zap it in the blender here.
So I'm just checking these mushrooms.
And, oh, goodness, Sarah. Are we burning something? But I'm feeling. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to put this in a bigger pan here because I want to reduce this liquid here a little bit. Okay, so that's coming along. So you can see the cauli parsnip puree here. I made some earlier, so I have some in a pan here. And Mary, I think we wanted to finish these mushrooms, but did you add a little bit of butter to finish it out?
No, not yet.
Okay, I think we can do that, and maybe a handful of Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
we're gonna add a little of the Miyoko's butter to that, and we're gonna add some vegan parm. This is a staple in our kitchen because Sarah and I have an autoimmune condition. We don't eat a lot of dairy, but our children love to have some dairy. So we keep a good hard piece of Reggiano, Parmesan Reggiano on hand. So you could add a little Parmesan Reggiano or a little vegan parm, whichever works for your family. So I'm gonna throw about 1/2 cup of the vegan parm here into this dish. And you know, I'm feeling like a little more juicy
Should we
might be
taste
nice.
it?
So open this up here. We happen to have some chicken stock on hand. So
And we could use some of this parsnip here.
I'm gonna just put a little bit more broth in here. Yeah, I
Just
do
add
like
a little
it to
bit
feel a little
more
saucy. Yeah. Mary, you know what would be really good on these is a little bit of truffle oil.
Oh, yes, it would.
All right, let's taste it, see what's happening here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we have a little salt
And
and a little more fresh thyme. Okay.
feel free to
Here,
just
I'll just chop
season
some
it
more
in
fresh
fresh
thyme
thyme
here.
here.
I have some. Huh? I have
Oh, you
some.
put some?
Mhm.
Okay, and then I'm thinking, just because I'm looking for a little green here, we're gonna put a little bit of parsley. It's totally optional, but I want the final plate to look really pretty.
So we're gonna make a little plate here. Mary and I have been trying to eat, several nights a week, just make it a vegetarian night. So I think having all these sides together makes a perfect weeknight dinner. But certainly if you want to add a little piece of meat alongside, that's great too. So here's the parsnip puree. And then I'm just gonna add some
Move over.
of the mushroom ragu on top. And so the carrots are not quite ready, but we're just gonna pretend that they're ready, okay? So
No, wait,
let's taste them. Let me just see what's happening. You cut them a little bigger than I do, anyway. Okay, so what do you think,
So
Mary?
taste your carrots, because I like them a little bit crisp, a little
Al
tender.
dente.
But and that's how I usually make them. And when I tasted them, I'm feeling like they need a little acid. So we'll squeeze a little more lemon juice on top.
Okay, here they are. And how about a little cilantro on there, Mary?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's put a few little cilantro sprigs on
And
here.
here's the thing. A lot of people feel like they just chop the cilantro to put it in, but I love the idea of adding the stems of cilantro. The stems are really sweet. So pull that up and you'll see how nice and pretty the final dish looks.
They'll wilt nicely into it. So heavy metal, I mean, cilantro is a heavy metal detoxifier, so I like to eat as much of it.
Yeah, and let's put this right here in its own bowl here.
Well, I was gonna just do a whole
okay.
plate right here of veggies. But
Okay.
however you see it,
And
Mary.
then put some over here too. When we designed this menu, we weren't actually thinking of the 3 on the same plate. But since we're doing it this way, we will put them all on the same plate for you. Look how pretty these carrots are. Just will have a bowl on their own. Like that.
So make yourself some sexy side dishes.
That's right. Spruce up your dinner with something interesting.
And
something a
join
little
us.
different.
Join
Yeah.
us at maryandsarah.com for more recipes.
And also, we have a YouTube channel. We've been posting our videos. So go subscribe to that YouTube channel.
And if anybody has any questions, then type them in.
It might take a minute or so for people to type in. See if there's any questions you have. Just type them in the Q&A. You're getting some comments back. So one question is, what are some other heavy metal, hold on, I gotta get to it. What are some other heavy metal detoxifiers?
So
good
we're
question.
big followers of the medical medium, and I actually do a specific smoothie a lot of the days, and it has Hawaiian spirulina, it has dulse, and it has
Blue-green algae.
No, wheatgrass, barley wheatgrass, I think it's called. And so those are really great for detoxifying the body. And one thing that I've learned from him is that if you serve some of these detoxifying ingredients with a banana, for example, I'll blend all of that up with banana and wild blueberries and cilantro. So the cilantro and those ingredients that I just mentioned will pull the heavy metals out, and the banana is there because it actually takes it out of the body with the fiber of the banana. So you're basically sort of like loosening the heavy metals, and then the banana is carrying it out. I read that from the medical medium, and I love that smoothie.
There's another product that it's called zeolite. Zeolites are,
How do you spell that?
I don't, Zeolite, I believe. And I actually have some.
Yeah, it's just right there. I moved it outside. But it's this little squirt bottle that tastes like water, and you just spray it into your mouth. About 4 sprays. It's called Touchstone Essentials.
That's
is
right.
The brand that we use. But it's great for detoxifying heavy metals.
You want to mention something about your live cooking class? Because aren't you doing detox next month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to do another live cooking class coming up. I don't think we've set the date yet, but we'll
Your
be sending information. Oh, for the live one,
the 25th of March.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that detox focused?
That's
Yes.
a detox class.
Yeah.
So
we'll
if you
probably
live locally, come to our live class in Marksburg. We'll be talking about how to clean the body for sure.
And there's one more question about if somebody wants to find these written recipes, where would they find them after this webinar?
So we're gonna post the recipes this is our episode number 2 cooking class, and we'll be posting those at maryandsarah.com today.
Wait, I think I have one more question. Hold on. Somebody says they're just talking about zeolite. They love it. And that Takasume Supreme is another detox.
Oh, okay,
Takasume Supreme.
Good to know, always learning.
Yeah. Where do you get that?
Yeah, that was
You know?
Carol. So
Okay.
Oh.
we can find out from Carol. And let me see, we've got a couple more comments. Let me just see if there's anything else. I think that's it.
Okay.
Thanks for joining
Thanks for
us.
joining
We'll
us.
see you next month for another online cooking class soon.